All right. All right. I just clicked the button. We're live time. Go ahead and start it, buddy.
All right, guys. Hey, how we doing? January 20th of 2023. I think this is our first podcast of the new year. Is it?
I think so. It might be.
It might be.
I don't
know. It's got to be, yeah, because we had some crazy shit happen in our lives. So, happy 2023, everyone. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for rocking with us and for the latter part of 2022. And we're in it for 2023, baby. It's time to go. You know, I'm your host, Tom Roth with The Cut. I got Anthony Aquendo, my co-host, my production man, my A1 day one dude.
Yep.
And we are so fucking pumped right now, man, because we got a dude here who's got 30 million views
At least
on YouTube.
50.
50. Oh, excuse me, 50. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers. We got a fucking YouTube legend here in Ashtabula. Everyone welcome in Thomas Sawicki to The Cut.
Woo!
What's
That's why I need
up?
those little buttons.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming,
having
man.
me.
Dude, we're so pumped, man. Like, so funny story. When we started, Anthony and I, in June, went down to Cloven Hoof. I had to talk to Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Anthony, I got to talk to you about some shit, bro. Meet me at the Cloven Hoof, bro. Let's go. It was NBA draft night. So we go there. I'm talking to Anthony, and I say, hey, I want to start a podcast. And Anthony says, okay. We're talking about it. We're writing some shit down. We're talking to a couple people there. And Anthony looks over at me, and he says, I got a guy. I know we could probably get. You could probably come on. And he's legit. And I'm like, who is it? He says, his name's Thomas Sawicki. He's a YouTube dude. He said, go look up this video. And you're in a fucking Power Wheels at a Taco Bell. And I'm fucking lit at Cloven Hoof,
Dunkin'
bro.
Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. There you go. And I'm hammered. And I swear to God, I had to leave the bar and go to the bathroom because I was laughing so hard, like it was leaking out of my nose, dude. Like, fuck, man. So, talk to us about. So, obviously, that video was my introduction to you.
Yeah.
How did this all start?
Oh, man. So, like, growing up, like, I was always, like, a funny kid, like, the funny guy, the funny kid in class. So, like, when I got to high school, they came out with the app called Vine.
I remember Vine.
And I'm like, all right, like, Vine's cool. And so I would, like, start doing, like, little 6-second videos on Vine, like, trying to make people laugh. And I'd go to school the next day, and, like, everyone would be like, yo, Thomas, like, your Vines are so funny, dude. Like, they're hilarious. Keep it up. So I'm like, all right, like, that's cool. So I would just start posting, and, like, then I would go to, like, the Menor Mall, and then I'd get, like, kids that live 45 minutes away, and they're like, dude, we seen you on Vine, like, let's get a picture. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is legit, like, I'm starting to pop off.
Yeah.
And so, like, after, like, Vine came out, like, I wanted to, like, do longer videos. Like, after I was like 6 seconds, that's not a whole lot of time to, like, post a video to, like, really make people laugh. I mean, it is, but I want to do something longer. So then I just, like, came up with the idea. I was like, I want to start a YouTube channel and just do, like, funny videos and make people laugh. And then, like, I like, went to my friend. I was like, hey, I got this funny idea. Like, let's go to our local Walmart and, like, record me just going around, like, singing to old ladies, like, giving them flowers and stuff. So, like, I just started writing down ideas and, like, filming. And, like, after, like, a year or 2 years, like, even college, like, I just kept posting videos, like, even when I was at college, and I, like, wasn't popping off. Like, I wasn't getting, like, a lot of subscribers. For, like, 2 years, I had, like, 118 subscribers. I remember, like, going, like, filming a video. I'm like, this is it. This is gonna go viral. Like, I worked so hard, like, this is it. And I just remember for, like, 2 years, I had 118 subscribers. And then, like, I was sitting there, and I, like, thought of, like, a really good idea to, like, get in a toy car and go through the drive-thru, like, any drive-thru, okay? So, like, I came back. I was living in LA at the time. I was going to film school. And I came back, and I went to Walmart, and I was like, all right, let's find, like a little pink Jeep that I could ride in.
Yeah.
And, like, So I'm looking at him, and all of a sudden I just see like little toy cop car, and I like got the idea. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if I was a police officer in the cop car and I went through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through to get donuts? And so that was the concept. I was like, this is it. This is gonna go viral. Like I have a feeling this is the video. So like after filming it with a couple of my friends, I remember like we did it at the Ashtabula Dunkin' Donuts, and we did like we went around one take, and I just remember watching it, and I was gonna post it, and I'm like, no, this isn't good enough. So like I had to call my friend, and we went to the Geneva Dunkin'
Oh
Donuts,
fuck.
and we refilmed the whole entire like drive-through scene, and it was so worth it. And then like just going around town and getting footage of me in the toy cop car, I was like, this is great, but like it needs something. And then my one friend was like, dude, what if like you brought the donuts to police officers? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like the best. Like, yes, like that'd be great. So we're like sitting outside the police station the one day and just like waiting for cops to come out. And then like we would see like police officers come out, and they'd come down, and I'd like hurry up, get in the toy cop car, and like try to drive over there across the street. And they were just too fast. Like they would just get in the car and drive away. So then I was like, all right, we gotta like, I gotta be like up in there, like outside the police station and wait. So I went with my dad, and my dad was across the street underneath this tree, and I bring the cop car like on the sidewalk right next to the police station, so like as soon as they come out I can just like wheel right up instead of trying to come across the street. Well, I'm sitting over there, and then like my dad, he's like fumbling the camera like underneath the tree. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? Like, cops coming. And he's like fumbling the camera, and I'm just like, oh geez. I'm like reversing the cop car, putting it in drive. This cop pulls up, he's like, hey buddy, what you doing? And I'm like real nervous because I like see my dad across the street like fumbling the camera and stuff. And yeah, he came up to me and was just like, I think he thought like I wasn't all there, like I might have had like something wrong with me, but no, I was just trying to get the content. So I got him pretty good, and then went up and got another police officer that walked out. So those were the two takes in the video. But after about like a couple weeks, I edited it, I posted it, and I got maybe like 18,000 views. And then like I changed the thumbnail to where it was just me in the toy cop car with the cop, and then it just all of a sudden like started getting views. Like it went from 18,000 or 28,000 to like 180, and then 180 to 256, and then I just remember it blowing up like 488,672,944, and then like wake up the next morning, it's at like 1.7 million. I'm like, oh my gosh, my first viral video. And it was just like so rewarding, because like after that whole like 2 year span of like trying to like work hard and like post videos, that I finally had a viral video. And it was just like the best feeling. Like, you know, I finally was able to do it. And it was like I got to make all those people laugh. And the
Yeah.
video now has like over 15 million views. So it's like that's what I like to do. I like to make people laugh. And that's where the whole like concept of starting a YouTube channel was just so I could like find a way to spread laughter throughout the world without just in my local town.
Yeah, hell yeah. So you said you went to film school.
Yeah, I went to LA film school.
Oh,
right
damn.
right in the center of Hollywood.
Big boy, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. No complaints. Hollywood's just a whole nother character. Like I'd be walking to class in the morning eating a granola bar, and there'd just be like a homeless guy like butt naked on the sidewalk, like going to the bathroom. And I'm
So
like,
I watched the video of you at your graduation where you said you get to escape a lot of things. You said essays, exams, and then possibility of getting beat up by a homeless man on the way to school at 8 a.m. So that was legit. I didn't know where the school was at.
Yeah, so it's like right on Sunset Boulevard. There's
no shit.
ArcLight movie ArcLight. It's like the Dome Theater, and then there was they got rid of it. It was like Amiibo Music, the record place, and then it was right there, like on the corner. But it was cool because like every time there was a red carpet event, we got to like see that across the street. While being in film school was like really cool. They'd like set the red carpets up and everything.
All the cameras.
Yeah, it was just such a cool experience.
That's awesome, man. I wanted to go to film school so bad. I was a film minor in college. That's
Oh, really?
yeah. So I double minored in education and film, and my concentration was English. So like film was huge, and I think it's really cool like talking to people that have been to film school or are pursuing career in film, or now film can truly be considered like YouTube and TikTok,
Oh,
that
yeah,
kind of
for
thing, because
sure.
it's a new medium, right? And it's where people are truly able to artistically express themselves and try new things. Because like if we think about it, you deal with this every day. Cell phones, they truly can shoot film on iPhone now, and maybe even like Samsung. I don't know. I'm not a poor, so I don't associate with Samsung, But that's just a joke. That's just a joke, guys. But like it's truly crazy. Like so, I'm a big fan of this YouTube channel called Side Talk NYC. It's these two kids went to NYU,
Oh,
and
okay.
during COVID, they were still going, and they had an assignment. They had to create. They had to create something, anything, any type of content. So they created this thing called Side Talk, where they go up to random ass people on the streets in New York and talk to them, and it's the craziest
man.
fucking shit you'll ever see in your life. They found this dude, and he's blown up since. His name's Spider Cuz, and he's this dude dressed up in a Spider-Man outfit, wearing Timberlands, the dead ass ones. You know what ones I'm talking about, Anthony? The dead ass ones, the fucking wheats.
Yeah, the weeds.
He's got a New York Mets or a fucking New York Yankees fitted, and he's got a blue bandana on under it. And he talks super Brooklyn, and he's always just doing wild shit. But it's crazy now that people in film school aren't necessarily going to shoot a Scorsese type movie. A lot of these guys are now going to create content for YouTube and TikTok. Now, that's the new age, right? That's 2020 and now. What was film school like for you? Were they and what I mean is, were they burgeoning into that field of the YouTube and TikTok being the new mediums?
Not really.
Or
I think
okay.
I would say like there were like a couple kids in my class that like, did YouTube stuff, but no, a lot of my classmates like they were really like filmmaking and wanting to do. I have a couple classmates that are actually pretty successful now. They've done a couple movies. One of my friends, he does like videos and stuff for big people. Works on TV shows. Like it's great, man. It's great to see classmates
Succeed.
But when I was in school, like I was like one of the only like YouTubers in my class. Like I would think like I knew there was like such a huge opportunity with YouTube, and like that's why I kept doing it. And like I knew like I could reach so many people off of YouTube. So like I don't know, like I wasn't the only one, but I kind of like was not, I don't know how to word it, but like
You weren't the majority.
yeah, I wasn't the majority of kids where like kids in class would get mad at me if I said I didn't watch a certain movie. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you didn't see this movie or you didn't watch that." Like,
Film-
Give me an example.
Film snots.
How are you?
Give me an
I'm
example
not
of the movie.
saying the Jaws. I never actually watched Jaws all the way.
I never
through
watched
until, like,
Jaws
a
all the way
couple-
through.
Like a couple years ago, but they're like, "Oh my gosh, you've never seen Jaws?" Or like I remember like a girl in a class, one of my classes saying like, "You'll never be on set with Quentin Tarantino," and I was like, "Does it look like I want to be on set?" Not that I wouldn't want to be on set with Quentin, but I was like, "Does it look like I care?
Like that's your angle.
Who cares?"
Yeah.
That's my angle, but no, it was like I wasn't the majority, but yeah, some of the kids in my class, they were really like gung ho, and they wanted to be filmmakers. Some of them they're succeeded. The others like you know, and they could still succeed. Like, it's
Yeah.
not, there's no time limit on success.
Never. There's never a time limit on success, man.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, how's my setup? Not being a professional.
It's good, man. It's good.
I'm gonna take some tips from you. We'll talk after this stuff.
So, being a film school guy, what is the movie that film students are the fucking, like, it's the stereotypical, like, oh, you ain't a film school student unless you guys talk about this movie? Is it still Boondock Saints?
No, I don't
Thank
think
God.
that ever came up. See, the
Thank God.
The problem with me and like film school, like I just remember like sometimes like I don't know if I necessarily wanted to be in class. Like our teacher would sit us down and be like, "All right, we're gonna watch this 1800 silent film," and I'm sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, like this is horrible." But it was actually, it turned out to be good. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't really like sitting in the classroom sometimes, and like
Yeah.
sometimes like I was late to class. Like I was probably late to class like 40% of the time, and like some of my classmates were like, "Dude, how are you even like still here? Like you haven't failed because you so many times." I just didn't care to like be in class sometimes.
The class that you went into with the with the tarantula missing, was that one of your actual classes?
No, that was my first year of college before I went to LA Film. It was like towards the end of the year, like one of my college videos. I just remember calling my mom and I was like, "Mom, I need $13." What do you need $13 for? I was like, "I need to go to Petco and get a tarantula cage." And she's like, "All right, send me like $20 or whatever." So I went and got it. And then I was like to my friend, I was like, "All right, go sit in this classroom and we're going to go in there." Tell him I lost my... Okay. And it was actually supposed to be a classroom of like kids we already knew in there. But it turns out that it was actually a completely different lecture. It wasn't even like...
Oh my God.
It wasn't even like the right lecture we were supposed to be in. So I went in there and went down the stairs and told them I lost my spider. And everyone was freaking out. And I was like, "Don't step on it, don't step on it." But the professor was really cool about it. She thought it was funny.
She seemed like she didn't really say anything like the whole video. She just kind of like sitting there watching everything play out.
Yeah, she was, I don't know. She probably thought it was funny because some of the kids in class were bad and it was like getting revenge on them or something.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so like in total of like being in film school and everything, like I didn't really consider myself the majority because like kids would even get offended like if they couldn't film on film. So like we're digital now, like everything's digital, like
Yeah.
film on film, like
Actual 35 millimeter.
But kids would just be like, "Oh, when are we gonna get to actually like record on film and stuff?" And I was like, "Dude, come on, it's 2017. Not recording on film. Like this is the digital age."
Nothing's gonna be able to even play
Well,
it.
speaking of Quentin Tarantino, I think he's one of the only people in Hollywood that still does things on film, and even he's kind of transitioning into digital.
It's cheaper to do digital because film is so expensive.
Yeah.
That's why.
and to process it.
Oh yeah, I mean, think about like a movie like Tenet, the Christopher Nolan film that came out, I think like 2-3 years ago. That film was just so. That film was so prolific in terms of digital effects and everything. Like, how can you really do it on anything other than digital? You know what I mean? Like think about a lot of these movies now. Like, so you're a film school guy.
Yeah.
What do you think about superhero movies?
Oh man, so I'm more in like the comedy scene, but like superhero, like I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like my favorite. A lot of people get offended. I've never actually seen Avengers, like watched any of those. Like
No shit, really?
yeah, I've never actually like watched it, but like Spider-Man, I've seen the Spider-Mans, love those. And then
You mean like the Tobey Maguire one?
yeah, Tobey Maguire. The newer ones are okay. Like I don't mind them.
You want your mind blown? Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are both in the new Spider-Man movie.
Really?
All the Spider-Men are in it, bro. Spoiled the fuck out of that for you. And I ain't even sorry. No,
right.
so a lot of people in Hollywood, like Martin Scorsese, said that superhero films are just a fad. They're just like, it's a roller coaster ride. There's no real substance to it. And it's just interesting to me, like when you talk to people, especially people who may have gone to film school or people who are really into film, you know, getting that different reaction because like if you think about it, like so you being more on the comedy side, right? Like you have prolific comics that have made prolific films, right? Like so, like Jim Carrey, right? Jim Carrey made Ace Ventura, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes and he makes Liar Liar. He goes and he makes Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman biopic, right? So he does all these films and he's making something with substance in it, right? And something that people can quote and something people remember. And it's because it's funny, right? But think about like an Avengers movie, which you said you haven't seen, but like, so like Captain America's in it. They don't remember what Captain America said. They don't remember what, or Spider-Man. They don't remember what Spider-Man said. They just remember the badass fights. They just remember all the effects, right? So it's like, in my opinion, it is a roller coaster ride, but what the fuck's wrong with riding a roller coaster, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
do you get where I'm going with
has
that?
their taste. Well,
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like you're talking about like comedians making prolific films. Like Jordan Peele made Get Out, and it was the #1 like scary movie of 2017. 17, yeah.
Jordan Peele's probably the most
like-
prolific director in Hollywood right now.
Everyone has their different tastes, and it's just how it is. You know?
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna go make great comedy movies. People are gonna go make great horror films, and so on. But what just started it all was just wanting to make people laugh, and I still have the goal of like one day, you know, being in movies, comedies, or making them, whatever I'm gonna do, I don't know. But it's just like that's what started it, was just like the love for comedy movies and like laughing and making people laugh, like Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, like all the comedians, just watching their movies. Like last night I was watching Employee of the Month with Dane Cook, and
That's a funny movie.
it's just so funny. It's just you get home after a long day and you just want to laugh, you know.
Yes.
It's like some of the comedy movies like I love, and that's what I fell in love with filmmaking. And I was like, I don't necessarily want to go to school for acting, or like there's not really comedy. There are schools now where you can go to school for comedy, but I was like, I kind of want to like figure out how movies are made and like, you know, start there. So like, one day I can like do like Tyler Perry and like, you know, be Medea and like, you know, act and then be like cut and then like telling his crew what to do because he's directing and acting, and it's kind of cool to do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So that was kind of like my take on like wanting to go to film school and like telling my parents like after the first year in college. Like in college, I'll tell you like what sparked me wanting to go to Los Angeles was like partying, and I'm like standing in the center of the bar with like everyone's out, we're all drinking, you know, standing in the center of the bar, like everyone's dancing, and like all of a sudden like it just starts getting quiet, and I'm like looking around, like quiet in my own head, not like quiet like in the bar. And I'm like looking around, I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like I'm not where I want to be right now, or like I'm not following my dream or passion. Like what am I doing here? Like I felt like I was just wasting space. That's what sparked me to like want to like tell my parents like, hey, you know, like I want to try to go to film school somewhere, like go to California. I want to go to California and just see what LA's like. And my dad and mom, they were really supportive and drove me out there. And
They drove you out there.
yeah, we drove
That's a
out
hell
there.
of a drive.
It was
That's got to be
my
like
mom,
40 hours.
We got pulled over, dude. My mom was flying, and I was like following her, and the state trooper just pulls me over, and I like call my mom, like, Mom, you left me back here. And he's like, is that your mom up there? I was like, yeah. He's like, tell her to pull back. So she reverses, and he ends up writing both of us warnings.
Oh,
so
dang.
we didn't even
Oh,
get tickets.
I was going to say,
just
I thought you were going to
warnings.
say he wrote both of you a ticket. I was like, damn, he
Yeah,
counted you
double
to
dutch
get your
that
mom to
shit,
pull
man.
back.
That's what, at first that's what it was.
You're like,
but I think
shit.
he was like he was respectful of like the grind of like, dude, my car, I drove like a little Mitsubishi Eclipse, and it was jam packed with like clothes and everything.
Which car? That
Flip.
wasn't the red car, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw the one video.
For the advertisements in real life or whatever with the
No, I was thinking of the one where you're going to the quince.
Oh yeah.
And you pull
so
out taco shells and like
Yeah.
some taco seasoning, and you kick your buddy out the car and you flip him off on your way, and the car's rattling. You can hear the exhaust.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like,
Yeah,
man, this is
first,
definitely
always,
a while ago.
Always first cars are always like so funny, but like I drove like cars that like weren't in the greatest shape, and like as long as they drove, I would drive them. But you get like people that are like calling you like, "Oh my gosh, your car's like about to fall apart," and you're like, "Is it still driving?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's still moving." And it's like, "All right, it's good then." But
Yeah.
like, you
A
know,
to
you gotta
B.
do what you gotta
A
do.
to B.
A to B.
Get you from A to B, boo.
So what is your favorite? What's your favorite comedy then?
That's what I was just gonna ask you on my head.
So, I remember them asking us this in film school, and I was like, "Oh, that's like." It was like there's never a perfect answer when it says what's your favorite movie because there's always like 5.
Yes.
But like couple Adam Sandler movies like Happy Gilmore classic, Employee of the Month that I watched last night, like that's a great movie. Benchwarmers. You ever
Good one.
seen
Yep,
Benchwarmers?
with John
Classic.
Heder.
Just so dumb and so hilarious. I don't know, man. That's a tough one to pick. Like,
Have you watched the movie that was just filmed here in Asheville County? White Noise.
Yeah, I did. Me
That
and
is
me and
the
my dad watched
dumbest-
it.
That's the
And-
dumbest movie.
I'm not gonna comment on it, but
It's funny, but it's dumb. Like
It was a
they
movie.
try to be serious, but they try to be funny at the same time. It is just like a weird combination. You can't tell if they're trying to be serious or trying to be funny.
Well, I watched like the first 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is really like good. I'm like enjoying this. Started out in like the college class and stuff, and then like I like kind of lost track. Like I didn't know what was going on some parts, so it was like kind of hard to follow along. But it
was hard to follow
A for
along.
effort and filming a movie and
You know what I did love about that movie though? Color grading on that movie
Yeah.
was on
Was
point.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was great, and I was telling my wife, I got a real Clark Griswold in the National Lampoon vibe from the beginning
yeah.
half of the movie, and then they transitioned into a serious thing. But that's why I liked it so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was different. It was offbeat, and it showed a different side of an actor, Adam Driver, who has to this point been in very serious and like character driven roles. And at this point, it wasn't a character driven movie. It was a very plot thick movie, and he was moving as the plot moved. And what I mean by that is when he was like Kylo Ren in Star Wars, right? He was the bad guy in the new Star Wars movies. Even though his character was very plot driven, he took a gravitas and made it all of his own and really, really shaped a character that was a bad guy and made sympathy out of it, right? Because of what he did. House of Gucci, he was the main character in the House of Gucci film. That movie was so character driven, you know what I mean? And then he goes into this movie, and he's just flowing with it. And I thought when he's in the college scene and he's with Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle's doing the Elvis thing, and then he comes back and he's doing the Hitler thing, you know what I mean? And it's just like back and forth like a dance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the kids get up and they start clapping and shit, and I'm like, that would never happen in a fucking college classroom, man. I've been to fucking college. I was there for years. I never clapped at a fucking professor, man. My professors were bitch-ass motherfuckers.
That scene gave me like a weird like Willy Wonka vibe. I don't know why.
It did, though. It did. It really did. Gene Hackman, Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, not fucking Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, bro. No, that was fucking weird. That Willy Wonka film with fucking Johnny Depp was weird. It was good. It was fucking good, but it was weird.
I just saw something last night. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The kid who plays Charlie also plays Sean Murphy in Good Doctor.
No way.
Yeah, same person.
Yeah.
But he's a little
Yeah,
kid.
Freddie Highmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually making a new Willy Wonka, bro.
Really?
With that handsome motherfucker, Timothy Chalamet, playing Willy Wonka. That's a real thing, man. Girls usually look at Willy Wonka and they're like, what the fuck is that thing? Now they're going to look at Willy Wonka and be like, oh my God, my pussy's wet.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of girls said that
bro.
about Johnny Depp, but in that movie, I wouldn't say that was a role for Johnny Depp to
Have
like,
you-
make some pussy.
Later tonight, look up Timothy Chalamet, Willy Wonka. You don't have a pussy, but if you did, it'd be wet. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's how we talk on here, Thomas. You can let loose if you want.
You got a button under here.
So you're like a Vince Vaughn, Adam Sandler, that kind of funny movie guy,
Yeah.
huh? So those guys. Check.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know how that got turned down.
Oh, damn. It's wrong that people think this way, but I think unless you're people don't take a movie seriously unless it's a serious subject matter. But to make people laugh, man, that almost takes more work than making people cry. You know what I'm saying? Because people cry over things they have an emotional connection to, right? Like, this movie Big Fish, which is a comedy movie, kind of, but it's about a guy whose dad's dying, right? And his dad always told him tall tales, right? I saw this movie with my mom and my aunt when I was like 13. And at the end of the movie, the dad dies, of course. And I go out. It was the first time I ever cried at a movie. And my mom's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because I love my dad, you know what I mean? And I don't want to lose my dad, you know?" But my dad had a bunch of surgeries, so we came close to losing him a few times. And I never wanted to feel that. So I cried. But laughing, it takes a lot to make someone laugh, because I've seen so much shit, dude. Like, so much funny shit. And when you can really get that belly laugh, and I mean, you can tell because I'm a fat fuck, when my belly's going, bro. Because, like, but, like, there's some dudes out there now that are just really, truly fucking funny, man. And it seems effortless. Like Theo Vaughn, Bobby Lee, Tom Segura.
Bobby Lee's hilarious.
Bobby Lee's fucking funny, bro. You ever see the video of when he talked to those guys about being molested? When he
like,
can't laugh.
You
don't laugh.
Brennan. He's like, I'm about to walk up out of here if you guys laugh.
And then he was like, "I'm gonna try it again."
Because
I was brutally.
It went from 100 to 0 real quick, and that's my problem. Is like, that's how I've always coped with things in life, is like laughter sometimes. So like sometimes like someone might try to tell me something serious and I'll giggle. Like, that's just my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was little and like my mom like telling me, like, or my mom and my sister's like, "Thomas, you gotta sit down. Like, this is bad." What? They're like, "Your great aunt passed away." And I'm like, "What?" It's like, oh my God. Like, I just started laughing. And like, I don't know. It's just always been a defense mechanism. And like, I don't mean it in any way when I do it. It's just how I've always been. Like, I don't know. It's almost like that sudden, like, going from like, you're in a good mood and someone hits you with like horrible news that brings you down so quick. It's just like my instant reaction is just to like laugh, because it's like an awkward feeling that.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think they say laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah,
right.
That's my line on my YouTube. Yeah,
there you go.
My mom told me that when I was younger, and it's always stuck with me like my whole life. So I'm gonna try to like do something with that. But yeah, that's my first line. Like, laughter is the best medicine. So here's a shot, is what it says.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like, so it's like, give someone a dose of a shot of laughter.
That's prolific, man.
Have you done any stand up?
Yeah, so crazy story, like when I first went out to Los Angeles, like my goal was to be on America's Got Talent. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I auditioned 3 times for the show. 1 time in Chicago, the second time was in LA. I got close. I like dressed up in a like Japanese robe and a wig and like got like 5 seconds of airtime on the show. And then the third season, not the third season, season 12.
Your third attempt?
Third attempt, yeah.
So season 3 for you.
Season 3 for me. But season 12, I still have the stickers on my, like the contestant stickers they give you.
Yeah.
With the number. But, so I'm like trying to figure out like how I'm going to get on this show, because I've tried two times. Something I really wanted. Like, I wanted my first time to stand-up comedy on America's Got Talent. So, like, I'm sitting there one day, and, like, it just, like, comes to me, like, it's like, God talking to you, like, "Thomas, this is what you should do. Do this. Just be yourself." So, I wake up early. I'm, like, the 50th person in line. There's, like, right at, where is it at? Downtown LA Convention Center, and I'm like 50th person in line. I'm like trying to get the producers to laugh right away so they like remember me when I do my audition. And so I go in the room. It's like me and 15 other people. Like, everyone else is doing magic and singing and stuff. And then the producer's like, "All right, Thomas, you're up." I go up there, do my stand-up bit. For a minute 30 seconds, that's all they give you. Then he's like, "All right, you can sit down." And I just remember like I killed the act. Like, I know I did great. And I just remember sitting down and the producer's like, all right, everyone is free to go except Thomas. I want to talk to you. And I just remember like my heart like instantly dropping, like, oh my God, like the producer wants to talk to me. So he's like, Thomas, you're funny. Like, I've never seen that act before. Here's an envelope. A producer's going to come get you, and you're going to go audition for our executive producers, like the main honchos at the convention center. And there's like 10,000 people there, like waiting to audition. So I go into this room. It's like executive producer and another executive producer with his wife, and then they put the camera on me and they record, and they're like, okay, do your act. I killed that act. Like, I had them rolling, like laughing, just telling jokes and stuff. They're like, all right, we'll contact you in like 3 weeks if we want you on the show. So I'm like, all right, I'm just like, that next 3 weeks, I was just like, so like nervous, like, man, are they really gonna call? And I was lifeguarding at the time at the YMCA. I just remember leaving my shift, going home, and I get this phone call. And I'm like, hello? And she's like, hi, Thomas, this is Meg from America's Got Talent. We want you to come audition in front of the judges. Oh my gosh, like, I didn't know what to do. I thought someone was pranking me. And so, long story short, they had me come out. I went out for a day, did my interview for the show and everything. Then I had my audition. I was there at 8 in the morning. That was my call time. So they film like 9 to 12 acts for a show. So they film it like throughout the month, like 3 days a week. So I wasn't in the first show. I was in the last show. I was the last act to go on stage at midnight. I was there from 8 in the morning till midnight. Tyra Banks is backstage. I'm backstage. I'm like real nervous. And one of my YouTube videos where I proposed to my wife, I show a clip of me like hugging Tyra Banks backstage before I went on stage. And I just remember like walking out on stage. There's like 3,000 people in the audience. I was just like in a daze. Like, it felt like a dream. Like, went out, performed stand up in front of all these people, got a standing ovation from Simon Cowell and Howie Mandel. Mel B, she stood up too. Heidi, she wasn't like a huge fan of my comedy. She's like, I didn't really think it was funny, but it didn't matter because I like knew that I got a yes from Howie, yes from LB. Heidi told me no, but I was like, it doesn't matter because Simon gave me a standing ovation. He's like, Thomas, you are funny, genius. Like, we want to see you again. So I got 3 yeses. I got through.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
awesome.
it was crazy. Like, I just remember like feeling like just like in a dream because it just didn't seem real. Like, and then as soon as you get off stage, they got all these cameras in your face. Like, Tyra's asking me like, Thomas, how do you feel you made it through to the next round? And I'm just like, I was speechless. Like, I didn't know what to say because I was just so like in shock that I was just on stage in front of the judges. America's Got Talent. I got to do my first stand-up act, and went home the next day. The producer tells me like, like, before you went on, like, we briefed everyone, just because you get a yes from the judges doesn't mean you're guaranteed to go to the next round. So what else you got? Like, send us a script of your next act, because they want it scripted out to make sure like no surprises happen or anything. So I did that, and then they said on like a week later, they were like, yeah, unfortunately, due to the judges' final decisions, like, you won't be on the show. Like,
Wait,
the
so
judges cut. So I made it through, but I didn't get to go to the next round.
you didn't make it through, kind of. I mean, in a sense,
I did, but like,
because of the behind the
producers,
scene.
Fucking Heidi had something to say, man. It was Heidi, that bitch Heidi. What's Heidi's last name?
But so on there, like, someone will get through. Like, so I was still gonna air on TV. Like, I was all excited. I came back. I was like, telling people like, dude, I'm gonna be on America's Got Talent, and like, I'm gonna be on TV. And in that season, there's a clip of me, one hugging Heidi Klum or Tyra Banks, and then another one like sitting backstage, like all nervous before I went on for my stand-up act. And then after that, you don't see me. Like, I got a email a week before the last episode saying, Thomas, due to limited airtime, your act won't be shown. So I did all that. I was on in front of the judges, made it through.
Got 3 yeses.
Got 3 yeses, and I didn't
That's
get
fucking-
it.
You got
No one
robbed,
got to see it,
dude. You
and
got
they won't email you any pictures because it's like, you know, they don't.
It's their content.
It's their content. They
Yeah.
don't want you like exposing them for anything. Because on America's Got Talent, like you'll see people get through, and then you won't see them again. Like if a lot of people don't know that because like no one talks about it, but like you'll see people get through on the show, and then you'll never see them again. Like it'll air on TV that they got through, and then you won't see them again like later on.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's real fucked up.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things I could say, but like I'm not trying to like ruin my acting career to any producers watching, but like yeah, dude, there's some messed up stuff that goes on behind the scenes of TV.
It's crazy. That's wild, bro.
Yeah, but dude, and so like the whole 6 months after that, like just the high of like being on TV, like going in front of the judges like I said I was gonna do. Like it was my dream to do stand up on America's Got Talent. Like it was like kind of crushed, and so like for 6 months, dude, like just from that high of like thinking I'm gonna be on TV, like all excited, like it was just heartbreaking because like I know I was there, I know I got through and performed and did the best job I could do, but like no one back here like saw my stand up live, and I don't know, it just sucks, you know, for like a show that like makes a lot of people's dreams come true, they kind of like, you know,
Kind of crushed yours.
crush a lot of people's dreams.
Fuck, dude.
But I'll never forget, dude. Like just as soon as like I'm up on stage, like in front of thousands of people, like doing, I was, you know, like, hi, my name's Thomas. My parents call me Thomas, and like everyone starts laughing. And then you just see like Howie like looking at me and like turning around, looking at the audience, like looking at me. Just like that feeling, and then watching Simon stand up at the end, like a guy I used to watch on American Idol, like tell people they suck or like push them off, you know, like just getting validation from him like that internally, like just knowing that, feeling that you were good enough for like a critic. Even though like it wasn't his specialty, like comedy isn't Simon's specialty, but it was Howie, and Howie loved me and knew that I had something, and like, yeah, it was a dream and it happened, but it just sucks that like no one gets to see it. But you know, I still have like other stuff riding for me, and I will have the last laugh one day. Like just because I wasn't on TV on America's Got Talent, like it's fine. Like I'll have something greater is gonna come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so to answer your question, yes, I did. I do stand up, but not like consistently, or it's like here and there. Like, just I did do stand up at the Comedy Store in the Ice House in Hollywood. So Hollywood, Comedy Store, Ice House, Pasadena. But
are there any like comedy venues out here that you've done anything at?
No. Besides Briquettes, like just inviting.
Do they have one?
They used to, Briquettes right here in the harbor used to do an open mic night. I don't know if they still do it, but I would like do stand up like for my friends and stuff. I'd be like, everyone come out to Briquettes tonight. Like I'm gonna do stand up. And I just remember like being up there and like freezing because like I get nervous and like I'll like stumble on my words and I'll be like, kind of forgot what I was gonna say.
So what is the hardest part about making videos for you?
Let's see.
Is it coming up with the content? Is it just
No, the content's there. Like I have a whole list of video ideas that are just on the back burner. I could film. I think for me, it's like the motivation. Like I was telling Tom earlier, I've kind of been like in retirement, and I always say like I'm coming out of retirement because like I am, but like for me, like I'm such a procrastinator, and procrastination, like I'm just like, someone will ask me like, yo, Thomas, when's your next video? And I'm like, dude, coming like next week. It'll be up by Thursday. And
then Thursday rolls around.
Thursday rolls around, it's not up.
That
So
shit
like
ain't there.
that's my problem now, is just like trying to find the motivation. I'm such a procrastinator, but I do have a lot of YouTube video ideas that I just need to film.
Do you film them by yourself, or do you
No,
have?
I usually have like ask someone. Like I've had like 3 main people that film for me, or I have my wife film for me. But that's also a challenge sometimes too, is like finding someone to actually.
Well, I'm local, so if you
Yeah.
ever need anything.
Yeah, I did think of you one time. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you, but then I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to film a video yet.
Dude, let me know. I've actually thought about doing like some of the shit that you do on your YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I've considered doing it. I don't want to be the person out there in front of the camera, but I just think it's a really cool concept of just, going up to strangers,
Yeah.
giving kids coal for
Oh yeah.
freaking Christmas.
I pissed myself.
My neighbor gave me that idea to do dressing up as Santa Claus and giving kids coal, and like I knew it was gonna go viral. Like no one's ever done it, and so like my mom actually like drove me, my friend Odero, he was one of my main cameramen. Drove around like Mentor and Erie, and like Mentor, like we just go. Oh, and my other friend Tyler, he helped. But we went to like Mentor. I was dressed up as Santa Claus. I went into the dollar store to like tape together like this long yellow poster board to write all like random kids' names on for like a naughty list. And we stood outside the Mentor Mall and got some really good takes of kids. And then I went over to Toys R Us, and I was like standing out there for like 5 minutes. We got one little girl. I like asked her name, gave her like a lump of coal for Christmas, and I ended up giving her a toy. But the manager comes out. What are you doing out here? Like, stop filming. And she was like all mad that I was like giving kids coal or presents or whatnot. But she's like, wait right here, and like calling the police to come. And I'm like, oh geez, all right guys, we gotta go. My mom's like, I'm like, Mom, pull around
Oh,
here.
is your mom with you?
My mom was driving. She was all
Fucking
sketched out.
hilarious.
Like, Mom, drive. And then afterwards, we went to Chipotle. I got a free burrito because I was dressed as Santa Claus.
Nah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but so we went to the Erie Mall, and I'm inside the mall, and we like got some killer takes, like, and this is why the video like got so many, like, there were just going the extra mile and getting takes, like even if I didn't use them. But like I'm inside the mall, and all of a sudden like I just see like a security guard walking towards me, and I'm like, oh, I turn around. Next thing you know, I see like 3 other mall security walking towards me. I'm like, oh crap. And then I turn this way, and there's like another mall security guy, and I like tell my camera guy, I'm like, oh Darrow, go back to the car. I'll meet you there. Because I'm like mic'd up, obviously. And he comes up to me, he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I just completely remained as Santa Claus the whole time. I didn't break character. I was like, oh, Merry Christmas. He's like, what are you doing in this mall? And I'm like, oh, I'm Santa Claus giving presents to the good boys and girls. And he's like, what's in the presents? And I'm like, oh, they're gifts and blah, blah. And he's like, well, you can't be over here. You're confusing the kids because there's a mall Santa already sitting there, and I'm the Santa over here, and all the kids are looking at me like, why are there 2 Santa Clauses? But yeah, I just like got swarmed by mall security, but I ended up like getting away like nothing happened. But the video turned out great. It got like 13 million views.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13 mil. Yeah, that's how I thought that was your most viewed, and then I went back and looked at the cop one, and that one's at 15
My
million.
candy, I think my candy one's at 14.
Is that the one with the
Sneaking
theater?
candy in the movies, yeah, where I taped candy to my
And then you went
body.
to some other movie theater, and the guy was like, and he
Yeah.
said, would you like any concessions? You're like, nah, I got that covered.
That
He was
was,
like, I didn't hear anything.
Sneaking candy in the movies. So when I came up with that concept, like I knew it was a viral concept because I'd watch like other YouTubers, like people would do it. They would sneak candy in, but I wanted to think of like a funny way that like would get traction. So I went to the dollar store, bought like $30 worth of candy, and like my friend Odero, We're like, dude, I was like, tape it to my body. So he starts taping it to my body. And the whole time, like the mall movie theater security cameras are like aimed at us. So like they're watching us do this outside. Like I'm taping the
Oh, you did
candy
it
to my
outside of the
body.
movie theater?
Yeah, I did it right outside the movie theater. Put on a thick coat in the middle of July. Like, why am I wearing a thick coat? And as soon as I like try to step foot in the movie theater, the manager's already like, no, you can't come in. You're not bringing that candy in here. I'm like, how the heck did she even know? And then it was some lady who came out with her kid. Besides like the security cameras looking at us, like some lady came out with her kid, and she was it was some lady snitch. Everyone's convinced that it was the lady at the Dollar Tree that snitched on me for bringing candy in the movies, but it wasn't. It was some lady that came out with her kid who just Karen. He was Karen, man.
That is a Karen move,
Yeah.
100%.
But that video, after I made it, I knew that it was going to go viral, but I didn't know it was going to go as viral as it did. Like, I thought it was going to get a couple million views, and that was the only video where I was, like, in shock of how many views.
So you can tell from just, like, making the video, you're like, this is one that's going to...
Yeah, so, like, not 100%, but, like, all the videos that have, like, you know, like the cop and toy car, sneaking candy in the movies, Santa gives kids coal, Siri in the library, like those videos I anticipated to go viral because the concepts were so great and I just knew like they were so funny and
like original.
And I just knew that it had the ability to go viral. So when it did, I was like, yes. Like, people are like, what? Thomas, what's it like when I first got my cop car video to go viral? Everyone's like, Thomas, how does it feel? And I was like, it's about time. Like, it's about time. I finally see some, like, reward.
How many videos do you have up?
So I lost track now because YouTube came out with the shorts section, so I'm going to start posting more YouTube shorts. Like, I'm going to take all my TikToks that I've made and start posting them on YouTube shorts. But close to, like, I'd say, like, 90 videos.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because usually it takes 100 videos for somebody to even remotely go viral.
Jeez.
And you've got at least 3 hugely viral videos and only 90 videos. That's awesome.
So... I think with me too is I never like consistently posted YouTube videos. I just like would post like once a month or once every couple months. So like less videos but good concepts. And so
the Mark Rober.
Instead of like people, Mark Rober. Like as soon as he posts once a month and it just blows. See, that would be my goal ultimately because like I love working like 1 week out of the month and then taking the other 3 off, obviously. But like that'd be the goal is to only have to post 1 YouTube video a month and just get 15, 20 million. But obviously I want to post more than that. But the people, like some people that are consistent and post so many videos, you know, post once a week. Like they're gonna get 100 videos quicker than I videos because I don't post it.
Can I pitch you an idea?
Yeah,
being dead ass.
I'm open, dude. So when I was at my peak of like viral videos, I kid you not, I'd have like 3-4 people a day like, dude, I got this video idea, and I'm like, all right, let's hear it, and then I'll just hear all the ideas.
What about? Is the Rare Cherry open back up?
No, I drive by it every day. It's not.
Waiting for that. You driving by like
for the day for it to open. No.
Yep.
My suggestion
not today.
Petticoat Junction then in Menor. They have an amateur night. Show up there and just put your name in and dance, bro.
Put a wig on and be like, are you discriminating against trans dancers?
Oh my God, dude. Could you imagine if you like went viral?
Almost did a video last time I was out in LA. No, it wasn't the last time because that's when I ran the marathon. But before that, I was gonna do like picking up dudes and like my blonde wig, and I still technically have that idea that I might do one day, like in like a cheetah dress with like a blonde wig, like picking up dudes.
Bro, if you showed up at the strip club like that,
They probably wouldn't let me in, but
Dude, you could go to like Adult Mart and buy like the fake chest. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Just make
God.
like big ass fucking titties and go in there and be like, "Hi, I'm Thomasina. I'm here to dance," like a Southern belle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then you strip down and it's just you, bro. Like, make sure your chest hair is like real puffed out, your belly hair like Austin Powers style, and just like,
Oh, man.
hey, go out there.
That's
Be
like
amazing.
in the movie The Hot Chick, where
Yes.
the last scene where they're at the club and you guys like Monday night's gay night. 'Cause they transition with the earring turns from the girl to the guy, and
Oh,
the club owner's pissed. He's like Monday night's gay night. You're not. Gonna get there." Or like he's strangling one of the dancers, and the owner's like, "Look at the wall," and the sign literally says, "No,
No
strangling the dancers." Like, don't strangle the dancer.
I wouldn't want to strangle a dancer. They're people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that they actually could love you, man. They could probably learn to love you. You know, people say like strippers don't love you. You know what I mean? But like, I disagree, bro. You might
Well, you
make an
got
emotional
enough
connection.
money,
Yeah.
Pay
My-
for their time. They're like your therapist.
Yeah, like you're the therapist. I mean, some crazy shit can go on in those dance rooms, man. You never know. You could get onto a real deep level connection. You know what I'm saying? Like
Deep connection.
deep connection, or maybe not so deep if you're just average size, but you know, or like me, fully torqued. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. God bless my wife. But yeah, man, dude, we've hit on some pretty great topics so far tonight, and you know, it's just been really cool getting to learn about you, getting to learn about where you come from, what your inspirations were, you know, how you handle YouTube and everything. So let me ask you, like, are there any people that you see right now that are doing new things like in comedy or YouTube, and it's kind of you think might change, you know, the game?
Um,
Or is there like maybe a trend going on right now? Or...
Yeah, if anything, like the whole trend of just giving away money like on camera and like giving it to people, and I've actually never been the person to do that. I did it one time. I made a YouTube video where I went around and put quarters in people's parking meters to like stop them from getting tickets from the police, whatever
Yeah.
you call them. And like as soon as I posted it, like it got like 200 dislikes within a half hour. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I just help people get out of a like ticket. I'm like, I'm never doing a giving back video again. But the trend now is just everybody giving away money to everybody.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, you know, just the whole trend of like that's how they're getting views is like giving random strangers $1,000 a mystery box or whatever. And it's like I've never been someone to do that. I mean, if I had the money, yeah, maybe I'd do it,
Yeah.
but like I've never like I don't know. I feel like it's not really paying for your views, but it's paying
It is paying
for your
views,
views
though.
because you're
You're
don't know.
paying, you're giving money to people, and people want to see that because they
Yeah.
want to know how to fucking be that person that gets the money, bro.
Yeah, so like I don't think that's a trend that I'll ever really hop on. Maybe like a giving back video like once in a great while, but like I've always been like, you know, like God says like do your I'm not quoting a Bible verse, but like because it's probably like not the right verse, but like, you know, you do your good works like for him to expect the greater reward and not, you know,
That's true.
on camera for everyone to see. And like just the whole thing of like for me like being in a certain financial situation or like down on your luck, like I wouldn't want someone like coming up to me or like a homeless person like coming up to
Shoving a
and
camera.
shoving $10,000 in your face and expecting you to cry on camera and get a reaction. So like that's where it's like uncomfortable. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I want Mr. Beast to come to Ashtabula and give me money." And like, yeah, that'd be great, but like I've always told people like I don't even know if I'd accept money from someone on camera because I've always been the person where I'm very prideful and like don't really want help in a way. I
Yeah.
don't know. But like just on camera I'm like accepting like a big amount. I mean, I'd probably take it, but like I don't know. I've always been prideful like, oh, I hope no one's like trying to like get me on camera and give me $5,000 or something, because it's just a weird feeling of like people knowing that you got that money.
Yeah.
Speaking of being on camera and getting money, you were on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was right before America's Got Talent.
Was it?
You were on
Yeah.
Let's Make a Deal?
Yeah.
No
So
shit.
with Wayne Brady,
Wayne Brady.
I was hanging out with my cousin and I got a call from a producer. I tried to be on Let's Make a Deal before. So like with the show Let's Make a Deal, you have to like be upbeat and exciting or the producers will not pick you to be on the show. So you show up and you got to be all excited and like go lucky, happy, you know. So like the first time I went, I wasn't very exciting. I wore the cop uniform that I wore in the toy cop car and told them that, oh, I was a male dancer. That's why I have the police officer uniform on. But, so obviously they didn't put me on the show. So I get a call from a producer like, hey, Thomas, I'm just a casting director because you can sign up for like subscriptions or like calling lists in Hollywood, like actors, acting stuff like background, and they'll call you and let you know about like shows coming up or like background work you can do. So this lady calls me, she's like, Thomas, we're having Nerds Rule Edition for Let's Make a Deal. So I'm like, okay, that sounds okay. Like, yeah, I think you'd be really great for it. You know, like you make YouTube videos, like just go in there and, you know, be exciting. So, I go home, I sew a Pikachu to my shoulder, and dress up as Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. So I'm like this big Pokemon nerd. And so I'm not normally like all like, oh my gosh, you know, like all outgoing and loud and stuff. I'm like more like monotone, like laid back a little bit more. So like I'm like, all right, Lord God, please let me get on the show. So I pull up to the um, studio, and as soon as I walk through the gate, it was just like from like normal to like, oh my gosh, like we're on Let's Make a Deal. I was like, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? As soon as I walk in the door, I see everyone standing, and I'm like, hey, and everyone turns and looks at me. I'm like, who's ready to make a deal? And I start running down the line, giving everyone high fives and everything. I just see the producer over in the corner, like, yeah, we like him. Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, you were
So,
like exactly what they were looking
like
for.
exaggerating, like I love this. And so we get on the shuttle bus. So everyone goes to the studio, and we get on the shuttle bus, and we get to the other studio where they film the show, and I walk in, I'm all like excited, like I love being here, like Wayne Brady is so cool, and I just see like all the cameras like aimed at me, and the main camera just like following me down the stairs, so I'm like, oh, they're gonna pick me. So on that show, they look at everybody, the producers, and they pre-pick people, like they'll pick people to be on the show. So if they pick you and they're watching you on the camera and you're all like this, like boring and not participating, then they won't pick you. They'll tell Wayne, like, don't pick that person when you go out. But so the main camera's on me. I'm like booty bumping this grandma, like dancing, having fun. And the main camera is just like staring at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think they're going to pick me. And as soon as Wayne like walks out, he's like, who's ready to make a deal? And I'm like, Wayne, it's me. Thomas, pick me. And then he's like, Thomas. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like running down. And I'm like running down center stage. I get right next to Wayne. I look up and I just see like 6 cameras just aimed at me, all lit up red, like they're live and stuff. And I just like freeze. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm on TV right now. And the producer behind the camera just like, come on, say something. Like you need to say something. So I'm like, yeah, how's it going? And then it just started. But it was a crazy experience. Like I ended up walking away with $2,000.
Instead of a trip to New Zealand.
Instead of a trip to New Zealand. So it was Nerds Rule Edition. So what I had to pick between was money and the ring from Lord of the Rings. And like, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings, so big Lord of the Rings fans don't hate me, but like, so.
You never watched Lord of the Rings?
No, I mean, I've seen snippets of it, or like The Hobbit, like I've been in like the plays and stuff, but I've never actually like sat and watched it through. But like, I had to pick between this ring that I'm thinking like, Wayne Brady's like, okay, Thomas, do you want to go with this ring or do you want to go with $500 at first? And I'm thinking like, all right, how much is that ring? It's like worth like $1,200. Like, okay, all right, I'll go with the ring. So I'm like, I'm going with the ring. Next, he's like, okay, Thomas, do you want to go with the ring or do you want this envelope from Tiffany, the like hot girl that's on the show? And I'm like, of course, they're gonna bring the girl out with the envelope and try to tempt me. So I already knew that that was like a trap. So I was like, I'm sticking with the ring. I'm sticking with the ring. And then he's like, all right, Thomas, I will give you $2,000 to not take that ring. And I'm thinking like, I'm in college. My rent is like, well, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my friend.
Yeah, probably
My
1,500
roommate
bucks.
was $14.50 a month, so we were splitting it
Crazy.
2 ways. So I'm thinking like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent this month, so like, yeah, I'm gonna take the $2,000. And so he's like, all right, let's see what you pass on. And then he spins the box around with the ring, and it's like a trip to New Zealand.
And somebody had
Just
guessed
like-
that apparently in the audience.
Yeah, yeah. So the audience, like people who have watched the show, they're all like, "Go, stay with the ring. They're trying to get you." And I'm thinking like, I could either take this $2,000 or I could try to pawn this ring and maybe get like $800.
Yeah.
And so I was like, easy decision for me. Like take $2,000. And then I like what am I gonna do in New Zealand? I'd be like sitting on a boat, like thinking like, why am I here right now? You know, but. It was cool. The trip to New Zealand was a tour of like the Lord of the Rings, like castle and stuff where they like.
Oh,
filmed.
Mordor.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
it was cool, but like, I never watched Lord of the Rings, but
So it didn't really mean anything to you,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, it'd be a cool experience for sure,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like
it didn't mean enough to me. But
Exactly.
it also worked out because that when I would have been in New Zealand was like the time I was filming for America's Got Talent. So
oh,
it ended up working out.
that's awesome.
Speaking of making money, again, how well does YouTube pay?
So earlier, I was telling Tom over here, like, I was living off of YouTube for like 2 years.
Wow.
So like I was just the kid that made YouTube videos. And, like, easily I'd make like $2 to $3 grand a month, like just from my videos when they were going viral and stuff. I'd get bigger checks than that. But so when like my videos were really popping off, I was making like $1,000 per million views. That was my CPM, like the click-through rate,
Right.
the AdSense and stuff. But now, people's like click-through rate, like the CPM and stuff, like they're making $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 per 1,000 views, or per 1,000 views. So per million views, they're making like $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 for a million view video. So like
Holy shit.
one of my videos, like say like my most video, like 15 million views. Like if I were to get that now, like we're talking like at least $30,000 compared to like over $10,000.
Sounds like you
But, like,
should make those videos.
Yeah,
That's
I
that
know.
motivation. That would be my motivation right there, man.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just such a procrastinator. But I don't really like I haven't had videos go viral recently, so I don't really know what YouTube pays. Like I couldn't tell you like exactly. But when
You're
I
still
was
getting
doing
money
it,
from YouTube, right?
yeah, but
Nothing like it
hundreds
was.
of dollars, nothing like
Yeah.
crazy. But like I'd be curious, like my next viral video, like how much it would pay. That would be much. So it's like, oh my gosh, I just got paid this much. But some of these YouTubers, like, you know, people talk about like Mr. Beast stuff. Like, yeah, he gets a lot of, he gets massive amounts of views, gives away a lot of money, so that's why he apparently doesn't have a lot of money. But like, it'd make you sick just to like know how much like some of these like people with like family channels or like gamers, like we're talking people that get like 50
$60,000 a month.
50 60 grand a month from their, it's just crazy. And so like I guess that would be the goal, just to like be able to Mark Rober, post like once a month and get 10 million views and just be all right, you know.
Yeah.
Well, but I've never had like that experience of like, you know, getting crazy amounts of money. But I just remember my first check I ever got. It was for like a couple grand. It was the cop video. Like my first check from that was like 20, like just over $2,000. And I just remember telling my dad, like, Dad, I made like $2,000. And he's like, oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? And then I told him, oh, I'm gonna buy a new camera, like invest back into YouTube. And of course, I'm living in LA, so something's got to go.
Right.
But yeah, that was like the first time where I was like, man, I could do this for a living. And so there was like that 2-year span of just like filming videos and just knowing like that I was getting money no matter what. I didn't have to work a regular job 5 days a week, just a couple grand. So I'm not quite there where I was, but like I said, I went into retirement and I'm like coming out of retirement. So that's how I word it.
You just made like a Forrest Gump video.
Yeah. So
Hilarious.
when I was younger, I was always the fat kid. And so I was tired of, you know, being overweight. So high school I ran cross country and I lost like 60. I went from weighing 220 pounds all the way down to 160 pounds when I was a senior in high school. So sophomore year summer, like to junior, I was like 200. Well, it was like 212, 215. But I lost like 50 pounds like over that 2 season span of cross country, and I like fell in love with running. And so like a goal of mine has always been to run a marathon. So when COVID happened, I like took advantage of it. I was like, can't go outside, like screw that. Like I'm gonna start training for a marathon. So I was training, I was running like up when I was at my peak, I was running 50 to 55 miles a week. And I was training to run a marathon. And all these marathons kept getting canceled. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I want to run a marathon. So I ended up putting one on right here in Ashtabula. I like mapped out a 26-mile loop, and I had like everyone come down. I put like a finish line down on the beach. I had Stasny come with a clock, and I ran a full marathon, my first one right here in Ashtabula, and that was a proud moment for me because I trained so long to do it, and I wasn't gonna let COVID stop me from like pursuing my dream of like running a marathon or like accomplishing that goal. So I did that, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a break from running, and then I got the idea like dress up as Forrest Gump and run a marathon. I was like, there's my next viral YouTube video right there. Like dress up as Forrest Gump and run a marathon. And I'm thinking like, all right, where would I run a marathon that would get views? And so I was like, Los Angeles Marathon. So that was like my first idea. First marathon, I was like, New York City's too crowded. But so I signed up for the Los Angeles Marathon the beginning of last year, and I flew with my wife in March, and we went for the weekend and woke up real early, threw on what I was running in, had a few costume changes, and it was so cool, like just running, like all the energy around you from everyone in the marathon. Like you have people like pushing wheelbarrows for like I don't remember the causes, but you have like people like without legs freaking biking, you know, like amputees running the race. It was just so inspiring to see that stuff.
That's
as well
cool.
as like all the smiles I got to put on people's faces. Like there was at least like a couple hundred runners that came up to me and like took pictures of me, not to mention like the crowd like run Forrest run, and they're all taking pictures of me. Like it was so cool. And just like I got the original Nike shoes from the movie, and I'm running in those, and my feet started getting torn up.
I bet. What were they, like Cortezes or something?
Nike
Yeah,
Cortez.
Nike Cortezes. Yeah. So I bought them from a kid off of like online for like I paid like way over. I paid $180 for.
Oh,
Yeah,
You got waxed.
because you can't find. Well, you can't find them. Like they say they're at like Foot Locker and that stuff. Like you can't find adult sizes of Nike Cortezes, but you can find little kid sizes. You won't find adult sizes. So, but it was worth it because I had my shoes for my race. But then, like, dude, my feet were so torn up. Like I was limping. I was like limping and like crying on the inside, like I'm never running again. And you just every time someone would say run, Forrest, run, I had to like start running again because I wanted to make it look like I was running the whole time, but I had to walk a little bit because my feet were so torn up. And I just remember crossing the finish line and like sitting down next to my wife, and I was like, I'm done. Like I'm done running. I'm never running. I didn't say I'm never running again, but I was like, I'm done. I'm not. No more marathons.
no more
Like,
marathons.
yeah, two marathons was enough for me, and like I did what I wanted to do, and I made the video. It's on YouTube. It's called Forrest Gump Runs the Los Angeles Marathon, and it hasn't gotten that many views yet because I'm a procrastinator, and I filmed it and I didn't post the video for 6 months. Instead of posting it the week after I ran it, like I
Right.
should have done, I procrastinated and didn't post it.
So
I'm
it's about
hoping
timing too.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this, because the LA Marathon happens in March, like this year, I'm hoping it starts picking up views.
Right. Maybe change the thumbnail or something.
Yeah.
Just something for it to trigger back in the algorithm.
Yeah, so
Thumbnail goes into a lot to it too.
yeah.
So how important do you see, like, do you spend a lot of time on your thumbnails?
No, because I'm not like that great at Photoshop and stuff, but like thumbnails are so important, and like I've contemplated like hiring people for my thumbnail because like just like a whole revamp of the channel, like go through, look at the videos, like what thumbnail would go here, you know, like, and that's what I need to do, but I'm a procrastinator. But yeah, thumbnails are important. Hashtags, you gotta use hashtags, and just like content. Like, so some of my, like all my videos that have went viral surprisingly never like went viral like the next day or the week after. Like my like quickest video I got a turnaround on was like a gym video I did, and it got 150,000 views overnight.
Is that the one where the girl punched you?
Yeah, a girl
The
punches
train.
me in the gym.
What was it? The train?
Yeah,
Gain train?
Gain train. Yeah, gain train.
She hit you pretty hard or no?
Weight. No.
No?
Kidding. But no, not really. I think she was scared to punch me. Looking back,
It's funny that she laughed.
Yeah,
you felt.
looking back, I should have like had her do it a couple times, but I was like nervous to like ask her to do it. Cause I'm like, oh, I hope
Like, you want me to punch you?
Yeah, but yeah, so like a lot of my videos, like I've had like the Santa gives kids coal. That didn't go viral for an entire year. It started going viral like spring. So I posted it maybe like 2000 Christmas 2006, or maybe one of the two. And it didn't go viral literally until like the fall time or early spring of the. So it like took a whole year for it to even start picking up, going viral. Same with like my sneaking candy in the movies. Like it got like 20, 30,000, and then like summertime next year up, or like fall time. So it's like I don't know. I never really knew like the perfect thing to do to get a video to go viral. I just always tell people like, like if you have a good idea, like do it. Like content, like oh, you have a great idea, like film it, do it right, even if you have to refilm it, like my cop and toy car, like how I had to go read the whole entire drive-through scene, because like when you care enough about a video and an idea, like sometimes it takes another day to film it. Like, don't rush it, but do it. Make your vision come to life. Don't let anyone like talk you out of like your vision, because it's your vision. No one else can. But yeah, there's times where like I've went and filmed a prank, like picking up girls or whatever, where I'd go and try to film for like 3-4 hours and not get in, and I'd have to go back the next day. It's like like there were probably like 5 or 6 videos where it took me like a span of like 3 or 4 days going back to the same location and filming. Like I did this one video where the concept was picking up 3 girls at the same exact time, but the concept was so that they were all sitting close to each other so they could hear me talking to the other girl, so they would get mad and be like, I'm not talking to him, we're giving him my number, he's talking to those other girls.
How did that work out? I don't think I saw that video.
It was like right after my cop video went viral. It was like I went up to UCLA College and I was just like, I went like 3-4 times. I was just like looking in areas trying to find like 2 or 3 girls that were like sitting within distance of each other that could hear me, that I could like get a good camera angle on and stuff. And one time I got one real good, a take real good where the girl was like I can hear you over here, and the memory card in the camera like got corrupted, so I lost the take. But it was so good. Like I'm like I tried picking up her and I was like, hold that thought for 1 second, and then I walked 10 feet over and sat next to the other girl and was like, hey, how's it going? You know, like that's just my cousin over there. And she's like, I can hear you over here, but it just. But yeah, that's the grind of being like a YouTuber and creator, is just filming, like going out and filming, like knowing that, not settling for something not good enough, like go out and so that's the struggle of filming. I don't know.
So you not only do videos, what do you do for, like, you have I presume you have a regular job, like 9 to 5.
Yeah, so no, I don't have a 9 to 5. I have like my own filming business where I do commercial here and there. I don't always do it,
Right.
but I just became a substitute teacher. I was telling him earlier, yeah, I just became a substitute teacher, doing like K through 12. But dude, I enjoy it, like, and it's only like a couple, 2-3 days a week. Dude, the kids crack me up. Get like little 3rd graders coming up to you, like, or like 1st grade, like, look at my tooth, it's growing, or like, you know, just handing you drawings that they did, and they're always like asking you some questions, like my dad does this, like, what do you do? My dad's better than you or something.
So you're about to be a father.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So
congrats. Boy or girl?
Boy.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have a son.
Those are the best.
Raquel. Hi.
Sons are the best, man.
Yeah, so 4 weeks from today, I'll be in the hospital with my wife, and we'll be giving birth to my son.
And you just got married, what, a year ago?
Married a year and a half ago.
Year and a half.
It'll be summer.
Awesome.
But yeah, so quick sum up of the whole, like, going to film school. So graduated from Lakeside High School, went to film school, came back for a summer, met a girl, fell in love.
You met her here?
Yeah, I met her here.
Okay.
She went to Jefferson, from Jefferson. But met a girl and like head over heels, fell in love, decided to come back, and because of YouTube, you know, being you can film videos from anywhere.
Right.
Like, decided to move back here and got married, having a son, and the rest is history. So that's how I like sum it up for everybody. Kind of like sum up the last 4 years, because it's like, Thomas, what have you been up to? But
And you're an ordained minister?
yeah, so I took a chaplaincy course through my home church with my sister, and we became chaplains. So I've done like a funeral, like my uncle passed away, I did for him, did together, and I've done like 8 or 9 weddings.
Yeah.
People. So
Your first one was with Yvette, correct? Was that your first one?
That was probably my 4th, maybe.
Okay.
But no, I enjoy it. It's cool to, you know, be able to do cool moment.
Yeah. Awesome. Time you drain the snake? Good. Did you mute your mic, or do we have to listen to you piss?
No, I
forgot about that. That'd be funny.
Oh my god, I had to though. I drank that water too quickly. Oh my god.
Do we have any comments?
Yeah, we do. I was actually just gonna say. So you got somebody who looks like they're coming here from Snapchat.
Oh, it's
Caleb.
Caleb. What's
Yeah.
up, Caleb?
Yeah.
Says something about my mic cutting out 1 or 2 words or something.
Yeah, it's probably just the positioning of it or the ambient.
That's rule breaker. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
We'd have to look at that in context. Maybe we'll replay that in the chat.
Yeah.
later.
You can replay that.
But
Hell yeah.
Have I done anything illegal while filming? I don't think so.
Where do you see that question?
No, I'm just saying because it's a
Oh.
rule breaker.
Oh. Well, hey.
so what's the riskiest video you've done?
Yeah,
like,
I
where you're
was-
like,
Oh
dude.
man, dude. By far, dude. Selling pieces in Compton, selling guns in Compton. Good.
What?
Yeah, you haven't seen it? Oh, dude, you're missing out. So, the idea was one of my YouTube friends, Big Dawes TV, Frank.
oh, I know Big Dog.
I call him my friend because I invited him to my wedding. He wrote me back and was like, "Hey, man, I can't make it."
Oh,
but thanks for
dang. Yeah, I
inviting
know
me."
who Big Doss is.
Yeah, so he did want beef in the hood, so he put
like meat.
ground beef
Yeah.
in his shirt, and he'd go up to people like, "Yo, you want beef, bro? You want beef?" And then he'd flash the ground beef, like, and then be like, "Hell yeah, I want beef!" And then he'd flash the thing, and then they'd be like, "What?" Like, no, he's messing around. So my concept, I want to do something like risky like that. So I was like looking up terms for like hood terms, and like piece is like term for like weapon, whether it's knife or just gun. Like you got a nice piece, like you got a pistol, whatever. So I took that concept and thought about pieces of gum. Like you want a piece, man. So I wore a trench coat and I taped like all these packs of gums, like Hubba Bubba, the
Double
pink-
bubble.
yeah,
fucking
double bubble.
Did you have zebra
Just-
gum? If you'd had zebra,
Yeah, I think I did. So like, I would go up to people like, "Hey man, you want to buy a piece?" And then I'd like open my coat. So I did that, but dude, literally like, I hit up my cousin Michael. I was like, "Hey man, like, you want to help me like go film this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So we did 2 takes, and then the third take, we pull up to like this park. And it's just like a whole crew, dude. I'm like, oh man, like this is the take. And my cousin's like, come. I was like, I don't know if I should film this. He's like, get your ass out of this car and go film it. I was like, you want to go out there? He's like, no, it was your idea. So like, I get out, throw on the trench coat. I look over. He's not even smoking a cigarette. He's not even ready.
recording?
He's like, oh crap! Grabs the camera, zooms in real quick, and I like walk up to these people. I'm like, I'm selling pieces. You guys want to buy a piece? I had like a guy like run away from me. They're like, oh hell nah, and then like flashed them, and like the one dude thought it was funny, and then the other dude wanted to kick my ass. So he's like, nah, bro, get the hell out of here, and like it was just sketchy. So like after that, it only took 3 takes, and I was like, all right, this idea is like really stupid. Like it's not worth it. So I was like, let's get out of here. I like left and. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's called Selling. I think I titled it "Selling Gums."
I'm gonna look it up the minute I get home.
Instead of selling
That's
gums,
amazing.
selling gums like GUMS. Well, because YouTube had a huge thing where it's like if you had any type of like gun or anything in your video for like there was like a year or 2 span, like you couldn't show guns or something, and they would like private your video or age restrict it, and like yeah. But yeah, that was by far the riskiest video I did. And I was just trying to get views. I was desperate to get views, so I was like, what's a risky video that I could do? And that was it.
How was has YouTube had to clamp down on you at all on any videos?
Yeah, so there were a couple videos. I did a video where I peed my pants while talking to girls.
I've seen a
So-
couple videos like that.
Yeah, so I went to like the beach, and I had like khaki shorts on or khaki pants, and I had like a water contraption, and I would release the clip, and then my pants would start getting soaked with water while I'm trying to pick up the girls. So yeah, that one
Did YouTube take it down or
they age restricted it. Like I don't know if it's because like some weird people with like fetishes or what, but like there was, I'm not even joking, like once I posted that video, there was some random dude on YouTube who like messaged me like, "Oh, you look so hot with your pee pants," and I'm like, "What the heck?" Like, but yeah, YouTube instantly like age restricted. I'm like what the heck?
Bro, that's fucking hilarious.
You look
What
so
other
hot with
weird
your pants.
comments have you gotten in your
I wouldn't say I've gotten like as many weird comments as like hate comments.
Oh, you got a lot of hate comments?
Oh yeah.
Like what though? Like
Like, how could they hate on you, bro? You're such a nice
I
guy.
know, dude. So like the worst comment I got, and I think it was from like doing one of the hood videos, was like, I wish you would have died so I could see your mom's face at your funeral. And I'm like, that is messed
That's
up.
What?
Or
for
like,
selling gum.
yeah, dude, people are ruthless. Like they're just haters, dude. Like, you know, Kim Jong-un says in an interview, like, they hate us because they ain't us. But like, you know, like, yeah, dude, like a lot of people hate just because like they can, and like they don't, like I've always thought like, how are you gonna sit there and critique my YouTube channel and tell me how crappy my videos are when you don't even have a channel or subscribers? You know? I always thought that was funny. But I'll look at like some of them, like I'll get hate comments like, this video sucks, like you're not funny, like eat shit or whatever. And like I'll just like laugh because I just think it's so funny that like someone would actually take the time. Like I just picture them like all angry, like, this kid's stupid, I'm gonna write a hate comment. But
Yeah, like why? Just
Like, why,
somebody's
bro?
gotta find it funny.
yeah, so like weird comments, not really. Just that was the weirdest one with the peeing the pants video. Was just that freaking weirdo.
You look so
I
hot.
think he added me on Twitter too. But yeah, what a freaking weirdo. And then but yeah, hate comments, just like people like just trying to bring you down. But what was cool about that cop and toy car video was I got a lot of messages from like police, like sheriffs from like Florida and
Loved it,
Texas. They
I'm
loved
sure.
it. They were like, Thomas, we loved your video so much, it made our day. Like that was, it's cool to hear stuff like that, or someone who like is depressed and having like a bad day, and they comment and say, this video was so funny, it made my day, thank you for making me laugh. So like it's moments like that where it makes it worth it. Or like seeing someone out in public where they're like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I love your videos, they've helped me out a lot, you know.
Do you get that a lot when you go out?
Not anymore, because like I don't know, I don't really like, I don't know, maybe because I haven't posted, I don't see a lot of my subscribers, or like they forgot about me. No,
Yeah.
they didn't forget about me, but yeah, I've gotten like little kids and stuff. It's funny, like I'll be in Walmart and a little kid will be like, oh my god,
Starstruck.
yeah, they'll be like, I saw you were in that sneaking candy in the movies video. I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of my twin brother. And then they're all like, no, but I tell them after. But no, that's cool. Like, I do still have like, I'll be like working out in the gym and I'll have like a guy come up to me and say, I loved your videos, man. They were so funny. So I still get that here and there, but it's not as frequent because, like I said, I don't post it.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's cool. And that's what like, why I make people laugh and stuff is like, we all go through something in life, and the opportunity to like bring someone out of reality and make them laugh, like that's why I do it. And I used to, like, my mom tells everyone, like when I was younger, I'd always tell her like, as long as I can just make one person laugh per day, then like I've done my job on this earth, you know. So it's like that's why I do it. Like I just love make people laugh, and like I said, like I'll go home from a long day and like turn on a comedy movie, and just like feeling you get from just to laugh at a good something stupid. So that's kind of just sums up why I do.
You get me
like, why I like
emotional
make
over
people
here,
laugh.
bro. You got me like emotional as fuck right now. Like, that's fucking deep, man. That's so selfless.
And here we are with like 30 subscribers.
We got 30 subscribers, and not one of them gives a fuck about us.
I know, right? We got
29
like
of them are our
we got,
friends
like,
and family.
5 viewers.
29
right now.
of them, yeah, are friends and family.
The other one's
we
just
got
a fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
S,
average view duration 9 minutes. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
we got S that commented, "Love you." Not sure if that's for us or Thomas, but you know what? We love you too, S.
What's
Thanks
your
for-
wife's name?
Who is
Thanks
it?
for
Raquel,
watching.
that's
Okay,
not
so it's not her.
And then S also says, "Where's your favorite location to film?"
My favorite location to film. I don't really have a favorite location. Um, as far as like my favorite YouTube videos and where I have filmed, probably like I did moaning in the library. I went up to UCLA college. I loved going to UCLA campus. Just so beautiful and like it was so cool because you see so many viral YouTube videos of like they used to have like simple pickup where they do picking up girls and it'd be like on that big staircase at UCLA, or you'll see like videos of people pranking someone at UCLA or in the library and just like being there and like filming it. Oh my gosh, I'm here. Like same with like Venice Beach. Santa
Mama, we
Monica.
made it.
Like just
Mama, we made it.
seeing viral videos being filmed and then going to those locations and filming at that same place, like that's really cool. But like one of my favorite videos was like moaning in the library because I just like would laugh so hard from it because I'd be in the library with everyone and they'd be studying and then it'd be like real quiet and then I'd just be, oh yeah, big boy, or like something stupid, and then everyone would like look, and like kids would like take off their headphones, like who just did that? And I just like sit over there like, oh my gosh, like this is so funny.
Have you ever recorded something and you're like, "Oh yeah, we're about to get arrested," or somebody's other than the selling gum?
I would say, well, besides like the times like mall cops come up, picking up girls' videos, sometimes are like cringiest when it comes to like telling them that you're filming because you're sitting there talking to a girl, you get her phone number, and then like after you're like, oh hey, by the way,
She's like,
we have a camera right there and we're filming you.
She's like, this might be the one. She's all over there in her happy place, and you're like, psych, bitch.
Yeah, but it's like it's so awkward because like you don't want to come off as a creep.
Yeah.
And it just makes the situation so awkward because girls will get like really uncomfortable, and it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, no, we're not filming you like weirdly, like we're making a YouTube video.
Yeah.
This isn't sexual.
Like your
right.
FBI, your female body inspector one. That one.
Oh, so like
I was like, oh my god! And then the police are rolling up on the beach. I'm like, oh man, somebody definitely called on.
Yeah, I'm like, let's get out of here. But I did a video with my niece. We did picking up girls. I pretended she was my daughter. And I used her to like get girls' phone numbers. But so I was at Cleveland State University and I'm filming with her, and then like all of a sudden like I just see like the campus police officer walking around like looking for us. I think someone like called and like thought it was like some type of like trafficking thing. I'm like using a girl to like using a little girl to lure other girls in, and that's not what I was doing, but I was getting real sketched out. So like that was the time where I was like, yeah, let's not film anymore today. Like, let's leave. I'm not getting wrapped up in that.
Do you do all your editing yourself? Or
Yeah, or I'll have like my cousin help. But most of the time, like, yeah, I just love to do it because like it's like taking your own vision, putting it into like, which sometimes like I used to think like, oh, I just want to do everything, but sometimes like you get an editor and they'll put a take on a video that you'll enjoy and like make it better.
Yeah.
But so you still have your vision, and I think that's something hard with like film is like being open and willing to let people help you instead of like just trying to be like one person do it all, because like someone might have like a good take on a situation, like improve your video somehow, whether it's through editing or like add something to the idea, like the Cops and Donuts one, or like take the donuts and bring them to the cops. That's genius. So
somebody else had thought of that?
Yeah, so usually like when I have an idea, like I'll write it down, but like people like pitch me stuff and I'll like write it down. I'll just write in the description, thank you so and so for the idea or something like that. But yeah.
Man. You know, it'd be a really funny video if you went to a car dealership, test drove a vehicle, and then at the end of the test drive, you say, hey, I have a trade-in, and it's a fucking Power Wheel.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. Have you seen, Ross Creation?
No.
Yes.
Oh, so he does one where he test drives a vehicle. Oh my god, it's so funny.
The dealership was in on this one, weren't they?
Yeah, so the dealership was in, but the salesman didn't know. He test drove a vehicle, and his friend Cole, dude, he's got like long hair and a beard, acting
He's funny
homeless,
as fuck too.
sitting in the center of the median. Ross drives up. He's like, "Hey, is it all right if I get a ride from you guys?" He's like, "Yeah, come on, get in." Gets in. The salesman's like, "No, don't open the door." He gets in. They give him a ride down the road. Start giving him like drive. Oh, it's so funny.
I saw that
so
one.
good.
That one's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think though, I love me personally. You know, I don't do a whole lot of YouTube. I find it's very it's like having another job. Do you ever feel like that? Like it gets stressed out, like, oh my gosh, like is
Yeah.
it worth it?
Yeah, I think like think about that all the time because like just the whole like me being a procrastinator, but like consistency, like I say like, oh man, I see family channels and they're getting all this money, like I could do that, but like to literally film it and like post it consecutively like 2 times a week, like it's a lot of work, and
It takes a team.
a lot of people don't, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. And like even the big vloggers that would post every single day, like they would just film it, send it off to an editor, and it would get posted.
I think once you get big enough, that's like kind of what you have to do because you
Yeah.
have to focus
Meet
more
up
on
with the demand.
yeah, you have to focus more on getting
On your
content than actually editing. Like your whole life, I presume, would be just content. Like what's next? What's next? Like
Yeah.
Mr. Beast says that. Like he says, I mean, everything he does obviously goes out to an editor. He's got a huge team
Oh
behind
yeah,
him.
he's
But,
probably got so many teams of editors. It's crazy.
yeah, well, he does because he
I
does.
don't even know if I'd want to edit one of his videos because of just all the stuff that's going on. Like,
He has like multiple channels now where he takes his old videos and dubs over them in a different language.
oh really?
Yeah, he said because I guess only like 10% of the world speaks English or something like that. So he's
Jeez.
missing out on 90% of the market. So he decided to dub over his videos in different languages and send them out
That's
in those
genius.
markets.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
That's
genius.
genius.
Mr. Beast is really fucking smart.
Yeah,
He is.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he pretty much eats, breathes, and shits YouTube. Everything.
Well, did you ever see the video about him where he explained how he got into YouTube? Like his mom made him go to college or whatever,
Yeah.
and he was like, I fucking hate college.
And then he dropped out and didn't tell her. And
Didn't
was
tell
making
her.
Money.
And he was living somewhere, and mom kept sending him money for college, but all he did was pour the money into YouTube, and then he started making the money.
Yeah. And then
And
he was on the phone with Quid trying
Mhm.
to get an extra 5,000 so he could the homeless guy.
Mr. Beast cracked the code, I feel. Mr. Beast cracked the code to YouTube.
Well, dude, and like just the whole like dethroning PewDiePie by like being, you know, a follower and like everyone subscribe to PewDiePie, like that was huge to
Yeah.
try to beat T-Series. And then now he dethroned PewDiePie and his top like YouTube channel, so it's like it's an anomaly in a way.
Do you remember?
It's like your best friend like supporting you, and then they just come to take your house. They're like, "Yeah, man, I'm here for you," blah blah blah, and then like all of a sudden, like they're taking your house.
They're Cal Naughton Jr. from Ricky Bobby.
It's like
I'll still love you,
Yeah,
but he's just with the
yeah,
wife.
It's a Ricky
Yeah,
Bobby
was-
story, Beast and PewDiePie.
I remember when we were in high school. We were seniors in high school. There was a YouTube channel. It was super famous, and to this day, it's still really famous. And I think it was one of the first viral videos, called Hodge Stanson. You ever hear of it?
No, I thought you were gonna say Mosh.
No, no, I don't know what that is. Hodge Stanson filmed 5 videos, only 5 of them, and they were called Unforgivable. You ever hear of Unforgivable?
is that the
No.
one where he's waffle fries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries for free.
For
Dude,
free.
look it up if you have time. Like,
I can't believe you
Truly?
haven't seen that.
it's 5 of the
Yeah.
funniest videos I've ever seen, and they have tens of millions of streams on that. And I think it was the first ever like really viral thing on YouTube.
Jeez.
It's like in
And
the middle of the woods, it's like black and white video. It's a black dude, and he's talking about going up to some restaurant. He's like, "Give me some chicken and waffle fries for free."
I went to the arcade. And she started playing a game. I said, "Bitch, I didn't know you were a nerd." like he talks about the dumbest stuff. Like he said he went to a sleepover that his girlfriend was having, and they were watching like The Real World, and he said, "No, we're not watching that." Well, what did you bring? Dr. Zhivago and the bridge on the River Kwai, a lean night. like what the fuck? Like, but it was just so funny, like, because it was like Anthony and I's generation's humor. It was irreverent. It was in your face, bombastic, like, and that's what resonated with us. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like now people aren't doing that. People are more conscious of people's, you know, feelings. People are more conscious of being politically correct. People are more and there's nothing wrong with any of those sentiments. You know what I mean? Like, that's how our world's evolved. But if you look back at the beginning of YouTube, that's what got you views. And that's just so crazy how now a lot of these bombastic and loud people won't get views. It's almost like you have to fall into, and I'm not trying to be political here, but you have to fall into almost a politically correct line
Cancel
now.
culture, yeah. Happened with Dave Chappelle and everything, and yeah, it's like, and that's a thing too, is just like I'm not really scared of it, but just like being a YouTuber and like afraid of like that cancel culture and like what are you gonna cause you
lose your platform.
I don't think about it that way because like I figured as long as like you're confident about yourself and believe what you like talk about, like you can't get canceled, but you can't.
You're gonna get canceled from one group.
Yeah, right.
One group.
Dave Chappelle got canceled from
and there's
trans people, but he's still the most famous comedian on the planet right now.
And I see it as like, you know, we got 8 billion people in the world. You get canceled by 1 billion, there's still 7 billion people that will like you. But,
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, it's hard, you know, especially like we're live now. It's like watching what you say or I don't know. But yeah, whole thing with like cancel culture and just, it's just people trying to put out a light or a fire of someone who has something to bring or offer this world and they shut it down.
See, that's the thing, like.
But then you do have people that are just stubborn and.
Some people deserve to be canceled.
Yeah,
there are some people that truly do deserve to be canceled.
canceled.
There are some people that say some hateful and ignorant things out there. And the one thing that always makes me laugh is that people say, well, what about my amendment right to free speech? No one's saying that you can't say what you want, bro. But there's consequences for it. You know what I mean? Free speech doesn't mean you can just say whatever you want without consequence. There's consequences for what you say. Now, the difference is in China, you can't say what you want. Because if you talk bad about Mao or whatever, you're just going to get shot.
Yeah, China's real messed up. And, like, the whole, like, you can only have 2 kids and have any more, like, terrible.
It's nuts, man. But, like, that's what free speech is. You know what I'm saying? It's being able to say something and not get killed or prosecuted for it. Not face a consequence. You know what I mean? Like, I could go out here and say some ignorant stuff. I've said ignorant things, but not hateful things. You know what I mean? But I can say some ignorant, hateful things. That doesn't mean I'm going to get arrested, but it also doesn't mean that people probably are going to take umbrage with it and say something to me, you know?
Yeah.
But it goes back to what you said. If you're confident in who you are and you believe what you say, and, you know, there's 8 billion people in this world. 1 billion might hate you, but 7 billion other people are going to love you. So what would you rather be? Confident or ignorant?
And that's the society we live in. Like, people are just so scared to, like, just be themselves and be confident they are because of, like, shutting them down or afraid of being told or judged or that's something I don't know if I necessarily struggle with it much anymore, but I'm still like somewhat aware of it, but it's like there's got to be like I don't know, just like there's got to be a line where it's like yourself and want without having to whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, we're about to sometimes on this show. We might go on some topics that may in the future get us canceled. You know, they like to dig shit up from like 10 years ago.
But
so. Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about it because everything I say, I believe, and I know there are a lot of people who believe the same thing as I do. So You know, it is what it is. And I don't say anything that's like derogatory or mean or like hateful towards anybody else. I take firm stances on some things, but that's about it.
Yeah. And but that's also having conviction is what, in my opinion, separates a strong person from a weak person. You know what I mean? If you're strong with your convictions, you know, and you're steadfast in what you say and what you believe, then what do you have to be afraid of? You know what I mean? Because the people that get canceled are the people that backtrack, right? They're the people that get scared.
The ones that apologize.
The ones that apologize.
And I've said it many times on the air. Don't apologize. Don't apologize.
Unless you were, you know, messed up, then yeah, sure, apologize.
Oh, there's some shit that you should apologize for. Insane racial shit, saying that you love Hitler. You should probably apologize if you say you love Hitler. But that man will never apologize.
No, he won't.
But that's a guy who's very strong in his convictions.
He did.
Well, Kanye West said that he loves Adolf Hitler. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear that. No comment.
Kanye West is a wild man. He's a wild son of a bitch. But, you know, God bless him. You know? That's the one person that is. Adidas isn't blessing him anymore.
Did you see someone, who was it?
He got married.
Flo Rida just had like a lawsuit with that energy drink company or something.
You know what? I
didn't know I didn't even know that was a thing or like what happened, but he got like $88 million pretty much.
For
from,
what?
Like,
He got 88 million?
yeah, he got like 88 million from like that Celsius energy drink company for like, I don't know what they did. I don't know the backstory. I didn't read it, but like it had to do something with like a contract he had with them or something, but
God bless Flo Rida.
screwed him. Yeah, they screwed him, and so he sued and got $88 million.
That's wild. That's a lot of money.
I know.
God bless Flo, man.
So we're about 2 hours in.
2
just
hours
under. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any other questions. Tom, you got any questions for Thomas?
No, I don't have any questions. What I want to do to kind of segue into the end here is I want to thank you again for coming on, Thomas. We've talked to a lot of people on this show. We've talked to people who have done some wonderful things, who help the community in wonderful ways, who help kids, who are successful athletes. You know, we talked to a variety of people, but this is the first time that we've been able to talk to someone who has a reach, who's reached so many people. And you know, when you talk to someone like that, you expect confidence, you expect to laugh, and all those things came through tonight. But what was really great talking to you was how you do this for people, to make people laugh, and to make people feel better, to get out of their own head, to have a better day, right? And I feel that the world needs more people like that, man. It's truly an admirable trait. You know, you said you're going to be coming up on being a father here soon, which is congratulations for that, man. And you know, the world needs more selfless people, but especially more selfless men. So men who have their convictions, who can go out there and make people laugh or be confident in their own skin. And yeah, it just was truly. I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy or anything, but it was truly an honor to have you on tonight, man. Because this was truly just a very different podcast, and it was a very fun one, man. And I really want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can, anybody who's watching this, in the description, there's a link to Thomas's YouTube where you can go watch all of his videos. Make sure you go subscribe to him. If you haven't already, subscribe to us.
Yeah. Subscribe to The Cut.
The Cut, baby.
Cut it out.
There's one thing I want to say, though, not related to Thomas here, before we end tonight. So obviously we reach out. We reach out to people. We're obviously not big enough yet to where people are begging us to come on, right? Well, I'd love that one day, you know, like people like hit us up like, hey man, can I come on your podcast? You know what I mean? That'd be dope. I can't wait for that day.
We've had a couple actually.
We've had a few, but I'm saying like most of the time we're reaching out to people, right? Yeah. You know, and I understand things happen, life happens, stuff gets turned around, but you know, if you want to be on this show and you want to get your voice out there, please hit us up, because we're gonna come to you in a lot of cases, because there's a lot of interesting people that we know, and we really feel like we want to get their voices on here. But if you guys want to be on the show, it doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's as the maintenance guy. It doesn't matter if you're a substitute teacher. Shit, bro, I'd fucking love an NFL player on here one day. It doesn't matter who, like The Rock said, it doesn't matter who you are. You know what I mean?
Got Juicy Scruggs is his last name. He played
Yeah,
for Penn
Scruggs.
State. Let's reach out to him. Yeah.
I would love that, man. Like, please, if you want to be on this show, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care who you are. I don't care. Just reach out, man, because we're just two dudes, and we like telling stories and hearing stories. And the story that we heard tonight was just really awesome. So if you like this and you want to be a part of something like this, hit us up, or we'll hit you up if we think you're interesting. So that's all I got, man. I kind of went on a tangent there, but I needed it to be said. You know what I mean?
And if you book with us and you flake out, you don't get a second chance.
You're done.
Yeah.
You might not be dead to us because we're not cruel, but like, just know that if you say you're gonna be here or you want to do something with us, we're gonna put you out there. We're gonna expose you like to people. We're gonna do everything we can to get you exposure, right? So if you make a commitment to us to come on, we're making a commitment to you to do everything that we can to get you the best press. So if you the day of, hey man, you still good for tonight? Radio silence. Like, that's cool, man. You're done. Like Anthony said. That's why I love this guy right here, because he gave me the courage to feel that way. Because usually I'm like, oh man, like one more chance. But nah, man, fuck that. It's done. But yeah, hey, I'm Tom from The Cut. I got Anthony here with me, my boy, my A1, and Thomas Sawicki, man.
Yes.
Give it up for Thomas.
Yes. Thank you again, Thomas.
Thank you, brother.
And
I
I
appreciate
think that'll end
Really
it for us.
appreciate you, man.
So we'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully
Next
we got
Friday.
something for you next Friday. If not, just check us out. We'll be here. Yeah. Peace.
Have a good night,
Thanks
guys.
for tuning in. Subscribe to The Cut.
Done.
I had to go eat dinner. That's how I feel. I'm sorry.